where I want to go, I want to put a couple assumptions down with my pick. First of all, Za'Darius is going to be gone. He's just not going to sign back. Just the Browns and him couldn't work something out. The Browns addressed the DT position, and it's with the two guys that they had last year. So it's going to be Maurice Hurst and Shelby Harris, and we're going to have somebody probably come in the later rounds of the draft. So if I'm Andrew Barry, I'm looking around, and I'm going to see who's going to be available. And I'm thinking it's going to be Joey Bosa from the San Diego Chargers. He's
Los
got
Angeles
67
Chargers.
sacks. What's that?
Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, did I say San Diego?
I say
Yes,
Oakland Raiders
did.
all the time.
You know what? I'm stuck in my anchor man in San Diego. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Mad Dog Awards.
That's right.
But yes, we want him at the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, great Ohio State career, 67 sacks in his career so far. Now, the reason why I think he's going to be a cap hit is because he is worth $36.6 million against the cap this year.
That's a lot.
And yeah, it's a ton. And if you combine that with Khalil Mack, it's actually 30%. And if you actually combine it with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and those two guys we just mentioned, it's 60% of their cap.
Yeah, Mike Williams is gone too.
They're 22.1 million over. And I believe that's after the cap has been adjusted now.
Are you getting these from overthecap.com?
Yeah.
They've got it adjusted on there. So they are in a very, very difficult cap position right now, for sure.
Yeah. And so basically with the reason why I want to do this is it's because he's 28 years old. And I'll get into the way that Za'Darius and Joey are ranked. So just like we mentioned age, Joey Bosa is younger. He is also 1 inch taller. He's 5 pounds heavier, and he runs about the same speed. And I would like to have him at his age. I'd like him to play till he's 31 for the Browns. I would like to have the Browns defensive ends just bookend for a couple of years. And I want that with Oko, and I want that with Alex Wright backing them up. And then we got that defensive end position solidified, kind of like we have our corners solidified for a bit as well. And basically what I'm basing this off of, because a lot of you are probably talking to yourself right now, they're like, man, he hasn't played much in the last 2 years. He's played 14 games or 15 games. And what I'm looking at his 2021 stats. And if I compare those to Za'Darius Smith, ultimately we're looking at two players that are ranked 85.5 overall. And you're looking at Za'Darius Smith, who was last year 82.6. So now Za'Darius is a little bit better against the run. He's 68.4 versus Joey, who was 57.6. But the pass rush is a little bit better for Joey at 90.4 versus 87.4. So as you can see, like these numbers are close. It's about the same player. I just want to have that happen for a couple of years instead of getting a 1 year, a 1 year, and a 1 year. And we can maybe worry about that with the defensive tackles. But the biggest thing is the snap count. So when he made the Pro Bowl in this year. So in 2021, Joey Bosa, he looked just off the top of my head, he had about 800 snaps. Last year, Za'Darius Smith, he had about five, close to 600 snaps. Now, what's going to help him last longer? Oko and Alex Wright taking snaps away and keeping him fresh so he can still get those big numbers, like sack numbers, like our Steelers fans like, right? And he'll still be able to get the metrics for Pro Football Focus and dominate a couple of games to help Miles out.
I love the idea of Joey Bosa on the Browns. Like I said before, big Ohio State fan, Ohio State alum. I love me some Buckeyes. Joey Bosa, awesome at Ohio State. He's been awesome in the NFL too. It's just availability has been, his bugaboo the last couple of years. But when he's on the field, the dude is a dominant force. And like you said, this is comparable to when we had Myles Garrett pretty much by himself on the defensive line. Didn't really have a lot of help. We had to put all the pressure on him to do things. He had to be out there 100% of the snaps, try to give it his all the entire game, where get some guys in here to alleviate that pressure. Let him take some plays off on the sidelines, what I'm saying. Let him go rest, let him catch his breath, and feel okay with Obo and Alex Wright, Za'Darius last year in there holding down the fort. So you bring in a guy like Joey Bosa, it's like, dude, we're not asking you to be the hero out here. We're not asking you to do everything. We're just asking you to play your role. And I think it could be very well played with the Browns.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the history to back it up. He's got 4 Pro Bowls. And the times that he didn't make the Pro Bowl, there was some injuries. That happens in the league, but he can get it done. And his PFF, like any metric that he does, looks great.
Yeah, well, and as Browns fans, we know players are going to get injured. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
But you take swings
especially
on
after this year.
Yeah, you take swings on players who could be very good to elite, and that's what Joey Bosa represents for sure.